What's up, soccer fans? Welcome to the Soccer Brothers Podcast. I'm your host, Sahil Qatar, and I'm joined by my brother, Nihal. How are you, Nihal?
I am doing well. I'm doing well, man. I'm excited to be back in the podcasting game. You know, it's been a long time. It's been like 2 years. I think this is our This is our third or fourth relaunch. I don't know. But
yeah, I think technically it's just our third.
Okay, so it's a third relaunch or a third launch?
Our third launch. Okay. Our third season. Okay. That's what we tried to do last time, right? We tried to do like season 2.
Yes. So this is.
I don't know if we're doing that this time, but
this is Soccer Brothers Mark III. We'll just change what's in front of it. But I'm doing okay. You know, the U.S. men's national team played today for the first time in 285 days. I think that's the number I saw all over Twitter. So that has me excited. Before we talk about the game, though, we did just want to pay our respects to Daryl Grove of the Total Soccer Show. Our thoughts are with his family and Taylor and everyone else who knew or listened to Daryl. Daryl was just an incredible source of light in the soccer community. We had the chance to speak to him on this podcast, and he was actually planning to come on another show before we stopped recording last time, and he was just so kind and so gracious. And you know, the Total Soccer Show is one of the reasons why soccer has grown so much. So he will be severely missed. And kudos to the U.S. men's national team for honoring Daryl in their graphic for the kit numbers today. That was really cool.
Yeah, Daryl was a huge inspiration to us to even start the podcast, and he always brought a positive energy that really made me not only love that podcast, but start to fall in love with the podcast medium itself. He really is one of the best podcasters I've ever listened to. And, just hearing him say hello and welcome over that instrumental, the Total Soccer Show, that's something that I'll never forget.
Yeah.
He was just such a good guy too.
Yeah. And I'm sure I'll listen to it multiple times in the future, but I mean, it's really unfortunate. And again, all of our thoughts are with Daryl's wife, his family. We will put a link to his GoFundMe in the description down below for his family to help pay for some of the hospital bills. So if you are interested in supporting his family, please make sure you go check that out. All right. So I guess, it's hard to transition out of that, but as I said, the U.S. men's national team did play today, Sahil.
Yes, they did. The U.S. men's national team played the Wales national team in Swansea Thursday afternoon in the U.S. Well, depending on where you live, it could even be morning, but evening in Wales. And 285 days, as you said.
Why'd you go through all the time zones?
Yeah, sorry. That's actually alienating all our other listeners who aren't in Wales or the U.S.
Yeah, exactly.
You could be watching this in the middle of the night. You do not know.
The point is it happened.
Yeah. And so many players had changed clubs since the last time we saw this team. It's kind of funny, we say 285 days, and it's been that long, but I don't know if it's felt that long because I wasn't probably excited about this team 285 days ago. But because of all the transfers and all the new players changing nationalities and all that kind of stuff, and so much has happened since we last podcasted. I mean, obviously.
Yeah. Well, but, no, that's true. I think the last time we saw this team was January camp, and Ulianas scored a penalty goal, and he looked really good. So, yeah, and, there were a lot of questions about Greg Berhalter. At that point, though, Serginho Dest, I think, had already committed, so that was cool.
Yes, yeah. He committed, I think, last fall.
Yeah. So, a lot of these, as you said, so we didn't record a roster breakdown or anything like that, but a lot of these players have broken through or have changed clubs, as you said. Serginho Dest now plays for Barcelona. Anthony Robinson now plays for Fulham. Gio Reyna is a regular starter at Borussia Dortmund. Conrad De La Fuente is on the bench every week at Barcelona. Weston McKennie now plays for Juventus, which is probably one of the craziest ones. And, some of the, Chris Richards has broken through and played some first-team minutes. Richie Ledesma just made his debut last week and got an assist. So, the team, it feels it just feels exciting, right? To see all of these young players together. I mean, we still haven't really seen our strongest starting 11 ever under Greg Berhalter, I don't think. So I'm excited, and hopefully, you know, everyone is healthy and we are able to see that. But as you said, yeah, I mean, I think obviously people were excited because we hadn't played, but people were particularly excited because of this roster. So, yeah, agreed. Good observation.
And I think it's funny because usually in games like these, the second half, it tends to not be as exciting because usually you're kind of like watching for like 3 or 4 exciting new players, right? Like there's something new you're looking for. But in this game, like even if you subbed off even if you subbed off everyone exciting, there would still be exciting players left. You know what I mean?
For sure. Like, and exciting players coming in.
It's so cool to see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, agreed. I mean, I think obviously there's only one MLS player on this roster, and that was Sebastian Lletget, because Josh Sargent had to withdraw due to COVID restrictions. Christian Pulisic, of course, wasn't there. So it wasn't exciting as it could have been, but nonetheless, it was very exciting. And I must say, I really like these jerseys. I thought they looked really good. I didn't see anyone talking about them, but it reminded me a lot of the Centennial jersey. So I always love that jersey. So I'm happy to see a jersey I like.
Yep, new leaf, new jersey.
Yeah. Should we talk about the game itself?
No.
Okay.
So the game ended up 0-0, stalemate. I feel like there weren't even that many chances in this game. Both teams combined for just over 10 shots. Only 3 shots on target the entire game. I mean, there were definitely some exciting passages of play, but I mean, it looks like 2 national teams that hadn't played in a while.
Well, and Wales had, right? Wales have played in the previous window. Obviously,
that's right. Yeah.
You know, they didn't have their starting goalkeeper, Wayne Hennessy. I believe his first name's Wayne, but Hennessy. They didn't have Gareth Bale today. Aaron Ramsey wasn't in the team, so they were missing some big players themselves. But it was very sloppy. Everyone looked a little bit rusty. You know, none of these players have really played together besides Tyler Adams and Weston McKennie and Serginho Dest, right? Lletget also played with them, I guess, and
Stefan has.
Yeah, and Brooks and Miazga, I think, have played 5 games together, but the front 3 had never played together, and obviously Tyler Adams and Weston McKennie had never played with Yunus Musa, so there was going to be a learning curve. All of these players are young, and the ones making their debuts, wanted to impact the game in a big way, and I think that was pretty evident throughout the match. So it's understandable that the team was sloppy, and I think the U.S. really did grow into the game to the point where they started to dominate, and it's unfortunate that the U.S. couldn't score a goal and get a win today. And I mean, we can talk about why they didn't score.
I think we know why.
Yeah, I mean, which is Sebastian Lletget playing at striker, and he had one good chance. He had that little back heel. That flick that I think was actually pretty. I mean, I think that was on target. I think that would have gone in if it wasn't blocked.
Yeah, that was a good effort.
Yeah,
that was off the really wonderful interplay between, was it McKennie and who was it?
Dest, I think.
Yeah.
Full disclosure. So I was at work when this game. Happened. So I was keeping one eye on it. I was able to watch most of the second half pretty intently, but the first half I kept on having to do other things. So if we get some of the details wrong, we apologize. Why I didn't have time to rewatch it today. But on Monday, I think I'll be able to pay more attention. Actually, I think I will be able to pay more attention because I think I'm leaving at 2 on Monday. So, but yeah, Sebastian Lletget, I don't know why I went to the, very much like the U.S. men's national team, I am rusty at podcasting.
Yeah, I was going to say, just in general, we have not done this in a while. So.
Yeah, so bear with us. But yeah, Sebastian Lletget playing striker or false 9, I don't even really know. And again, since I wasn't paying as much attention as I would have liked to, I couldn't get a real sense of what the tactics were. I did see in the first half Serginho Dest sort of pinching into the midfield, and at times in the second half being the farthest man forward in the center of the pitch. I don't know if you noticed that, but that was really weird to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, legit. I mean, he's not a striker. I mean, I think probably the consensus is going to be he played badly. I don't really think he played poorly. It's just not his position. And, you know, this game was just screaming for some link-up play at the top of the box or for someone to just make the right run. Reyna Reyna was looking for someone to interplay with. Dest had a couple of really nice crosses into the box that no one was making the run. I mean, we were pretty much non-factors on set pieces, even though we do have John Brooks and Matt Miazga and Weston McKennie. I mean, it seemed like none of those were going to go in. Or even have a chance of going in. So, yeah, I mean, I think they just really missed a striker today. And obviously, Josh Sargent couldn't come. Josie Altidore and Giassi Zardes are preparing for the MLS Cup playoffs. But we did have players like Nicholas Gioacchini and Sebastian Soto on the bench.
He was initially set to start the game, and then he got pulled out at the last second. Or at least the U.S. men's national team tweeted the wrong lineup.
Yeah, I was really confused because I didn't look at Twitter again until the start of the game, and I was like, wait, Sebastian Leget's starting?
And I don't think it was due to an injury. I didn't hear anything about that, so I don't understand why that happened.
I think the graphic was just wrong.
So Greg just played a bad lineup. Or planned a bad line. I mean, not bad. I shouldn't say bad. I think that was like just the only weak part of it. It just didn't make sense to be going in. It didn't. I think
it would have made more sense if you had two really direct wingers. Conrad's direct, but I mean, if you had like Pulisic on one side and Timothy Way on the right side, I think that would have made a little bit more sense to have a false nine, sort of playing those balls in behind the defense. But Gio Reyna likes to, drop deep into sort of that false nine-ish spot, onto the edge of the boxes on either side. So, it was a little weird to have Sebastian Leget there, but we now know that Sebastian Leget cannot play the false nine. Cesc Fabregas couldn't do it, so it's not really a knock on him. But it was just weird. Gioacchini came in. He didn't do a whole lot, but he only had 11 minutes, and we didn't see Sebastian Soto. But I mean, we also had Timothy Way on the bench too, who can play striker. So. I don't know. I haven't listened to the press conference, so I don't know if that was addressed. I'm sure it was. But yeah, I mean, what were your thoughts on that? I'm gonna go look and see if Greg sent anything.
Yeah, I would have just rather had Weah starting. I mean, I understand that Leget has more national team experience, but clearly that wasn't, a factor in the rest of these lineup choices. So I didn't understand it. I just didn't think, like you said, I didn't think Leget played bad necessarily, though I did think he was invisible for a lot of parts, which makes sense because he's playing a role that he just doesn't play for his club. And I didn't understand that. It felt like there were so many chances where there was a good cross or there was nice link-up play between the winger and the center midfield on each respective side. Like Musa and Reyna and Dest, that side looked so good today, and there were lots of chances to cross it in, and there was just not really anyone there. There should be a little bit of, I wouldn't say blame, but onus on Conrad de la Fuente, because I think he did have actually a couple chances. He did have that chance in the first half where he skied it, and that was a great chance that he should have put on target at least. And there was a couple other chances where it felt like he did have chances to make a move in the final third and just could not get much going. I wasn't super impressed with Conrad today, but I mean, it's his first appearance.
It's interesting because when I heard that Conrad was breaking through at Barcelona, I was sort of like, really, Conrad? Because I think he obviously has a lot of potential to be a really good player. And Ronald Koeman believes in him. But I just remember watching the U20 World Cup and thinking, why is this guy starting over Ulianes? Ulianes is a lot more direct. He does tend to be looking down at the ball a little bit too much, but you saw Ulianes come in and immediately get a shot off on goal.
Right, that was a great effort, yeah.
And Conrad, to me, he every time I've seen him play, he's been a little bit underwhelming, right? I think I always want him to take on players one-on-one. That never seems to happen. He never seems to beat the man that's on him, and he never seems to beat the first man with his cross. I'm sure he does. I mean, he obviously does, and he's going to be, hopefully, a really good player. But I think this was a real chance for him to show some quality. And Greg did say post game actually that he thought Conrad did show some quality, so maybe I missed some of it in the first half. That sounds like shade, but I'm serious when I say that. But so, yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, he didn't have someone to cross it into, so it's hard to really judge what was going on there.
But I think there were just some chances where he was just like didn't have good touches, and
right.
like the possession or like we lost possession because of Conrad and Anthony Robinson on that side. The right side was definitely much better than the left side. But
right.
It felt like in the first half we were going down the left side more.
Right.
That might be because Brooks is a better distributor than Miazga. Just looked overall better than Miazga today. I mean,
he's a better player than Miazga. And
right.
We never see again. We're so rusty. We didn't even go through the starting 11. So I'll quickly go through it. We had Zach Steffen at goal, and from right to left on the back line, we had Serginho Dest, Matt Miazga, John Brooks, and Anthony Robinson at left back. In the midfield, we had Tyler Adams playing defensive mid, which is incredible. I mean, it's finally happened. With Weston McKennie and the debutant Yunus Musa playing in front of Tyler Adams. And then we had the two other debutants, Giovanni Reina and Conrad de la Fuente, playing on the right wing and the left wing, respectively, and Sebastian Lletget playing striker. I don't know, false nine.
Nothing really. Fourth midfielder.
Right, and I think I guess we're getting some of the bad out of the way first. I think that Anthony Robinson had a rough go of it in the first half. Looked a lot better in the second half, and he also, we had more possession in the second half, or at least it felt like we had more possession in the second half, so I think that obviously helps Anthony Robinson, because he's still not the greatest defender in the world, but he baffled. What is up with our fullbacks looking so great at club level and just crapping their pants at the U.S. level? I mean, it happened with Timmy Chandler, and it's happening with Anthony Robinson. He hasn't had a good game at the national team level, and he's a good left back. Like, he's a really good left back. He's a starter in the Premier League, which is not the end all be all, but he's a very good attacking player. But he just had some bad touches and bad crosses, and I don't know. I don't know what it was today, but what did you think? What did you think of his performance? What did you think of his?
He just looked very out of it. I think going forward, he was losing the ball in the back line. He didn't feel as comfortable playing it out of the back sometimes and lost the ball. I texted you this in the first half, but it just felt like half the time we were losing possession, it was because of Anthony Robinson. Now, I will say that the conditions were not good in this game, and I think that might have led to a lot of the sloppiness in general.
True.
It is hard to play when the ball is wet and it's raining, so that is something we should mention. But overall, Anthony Robinson, I think, was maybe the weakest player on the pitch.
It did seem like he was having a hard time judging the speed of the ball, so you might be onto something there. He also had to deal with Matondo, who I thought was probably the best player for Wales in the first half, attacking player at least. We should probably go through Wales' team too. They had they had Danny Ward in goal, and then at right back they had Connor Roberts, and they had Tom Lockyer and James Alexander Lawrence in the center playing center back. They had Chris Gunter playing left back. In midfield they had Dylan Levitt and Matthew Smith as the double pivot. And then on the right side of the attacking midfield, they had is it Rabbi or is it Robbie Matondo, who plays for Schalke, I believe. I think he's still there. Harry Wilson at the center attacking midfielder spot, Tom Lawrence on the left wing, and Kiefer Moore up top. So I don't know. Matondo is really the only, and Harry Wilson were really the only two players I was super familiar with.
In the starting lineup, yeah.
In the starting lineup, yeah. Ben Davies didn't start. David Brooks didn't start. So, Ethan Mpandu also didn't start. So, yes, I don't know. I mean, they have 2 more games in this window, Wales. So it makes sense. But
that's true, yeah.
But yeah, Matondo I thought was probably their most exciting player, and he was coming down that right side for Wales against Anthony Robinson. So yeah, I mean, well, hopefully we see Anthony Robinson again. I kind of want to see Serginho Dest on the left and Reggie Cannon on the right. I don't know how you feel about that. I mean, I think right back is by far Serginho's Dest's best position.
I just feel like you're missing so much with Dest. I mean, not so much, but he just looks so good on the right-hand side. But
he does.
It makes sense.
Reggie Cannon, I think, is I really like Reggie Cannon. I really rate Reggie Cannon. So, I mean, it's not. I honestly, I would even consider playing Serginho Dest at right wing, but I don't know if that'll ever happen. I know we talked about that with Yedlin, but I mean, Serginho Dest is actually good at the offensive side of the game. So, I think that could work. But besides the point, I mean, why don't we talk about Serginho Dest? I mean, since we already are kind of. I thought he was one of the best players on the pitch tonight, if not the best player. What do you think of his performance?
Yeah, I thought he was definitely one of the best. Like I said, that right-hand side felt like really electrifying. There were moments where they felt pretty in sync, where Reyna was pinching in and Dest was overlapping.
Right.
And that's not that really ever amounted to anything, but partly because there was no striker. But he just looked super comfortable going forward. And I thought positionally, like, he got back often enough. I think I noticed Robinson caught more out on the back end in terms of both fullbacks. So, yeah, I thought he was possibly the best player on the pitch. He felt he was confident on the ball. He was beating guys off the dribble, doing scissors. Like he felt like the best player on the pitch, and he felt like he was leading our team on many attacking opportunities.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that was sort of the point of Gio Reyna pinching in and Serginho Dest sort of having the entire right wing to himself. Yeah, he was all over the place. I talked about that. We talked about that, and he was all over the place. He is, I believe, the most skilled player in the pool, and it's probably, I don't think it's that close at the moment. Is that a hot take? Is that a bad take?
Probably not, actually. I mean, skilled, yeah.
Yeah, just pure skill, I mean.
Yeah, pure skill. I would probably actually agree with you, but
yeah. I mean, like, Christian Pulisic has skill.
I would have definitely disagreed with you like 6 months ago, I feel like. But now that I don't know, now that I've been seeing Dest for Barcelona and here, like, yeah.
Well, and, those little, like, passes where he just, like, I don't even know how to describe those really good players can pass it so effortlessly, even if it's just, like, a pass that's going 4 yards, you know what I mean?
Right.
They're able to make it a part of their skill if they're trying to do a skill, or they're able to do it almost immediately after catching the opponent off guard. And I think Serginho Dest has that quality. He doesn't have to look or think about his passes, if that makes sense. So yeah, I thought he was great. And then we talked about Robinson. We talked about Dest. Well, why don't we talk about? Oh, go ahead.
Why don't we stay on that right-hand side, because I want to talk about Gio Reyna a bit, who's off to a good start in the Bundesliga. He's actually second in fouls drawn and fourth in goal-creating actions in the Bundesliga. So off to a really good start. But
that doesn't
today. What?
I was gonna say, that doesn't surprise me. The fouls drawn thing. He's really good at that.
He and Pulisic but share some DNA in that way.
Yeah, except Reyna doesn't look hurt when he gets up. So
that's true. That's true. I get more nervous when Pulisic's falling over.
Yeah.
But I thought he looked pretty good on the ball. Like, he looks like... he's one of the best dribblers in the pool, period. And he showed that much. But I thought just sometimes positionally he wasn't very comfortable, wasn't making a ton of runs where I felt like he was threatening Wales' defense. I think he was a little too invisible for moments in this game. What do you think? Even though we know that was part of the game plan, opening up the wing for Dest, I just thought he wasn't, on counterattacks, he wasn't doing that much.
I think ideally this looks like Reyna pinching in, and then someone like Musa, who can also play out wide, also going out wide with Serginho Dest. I thought honestly, I if you were to ask me, he probably was in the bottom 3 for me today. I think he wasn't as bad as De La Fuente or Robinson. I mean, Stefan doesn't really count. He didn't do. I mean, he made one fantastic save actually.
Solid save.
Yeah. Well, okay, fine. I don't think Reyna had a great game. And it reminded me of the U17 World Cup in that it seemed like he was trying to do too much, you know? Sometimes what has really impressed me this year about Gio Reyna in the Dortmund side is it seems like he's always making the right decision. And he has a lot of deference, and he's looking for the run of Erling Haaland. And again, he did not have a striker. He did not have, Sebastian Lletget and Erling Haaland are two vastly different players when it comes to the striker position. So he didn't have that, and it felt like because of that, he was trying to do too much. There was one passage of play where he had, 3 options, really. He had Sebastian Lletget, he had Anthony Robinson, and one other player where he could have passed it, and he just continued to dribble. And there was a couple of other times where he just dribbled at the top of the box without passing it. And he can do that, but I think sometimes he did this at the U17 World Cup is where I was going, is where it seemed like he was trying to do too much. And, I think if maybe Christian Pulisic were there, or even Josie Altidore were there, I think maybe that wouldn't have happened. But, it's his debut, and he's a 17-year-old kid. And his dad played for the U.S. national team. He wants to do something. I mean, it's understandable. I don't think it's an indictment on Gio Reyna's ability. We all know he's a fantastic footballer, and he's one of the most promising players in the world, really. So, what did you say? Did you say, where was he in assists in the Bundesliga?
He's tied for 6th. I didn't actually say that, but he's tied for 6th.
He's tied for 6th.
4th in goals creating chances.
Oh, that's what he said. Yeah. So I mean, he's a fantastic player, and if Yunus Musa is going to be a United States men's national team player, Reyna is probably most likely going to have to play on the wing, right? This is probably where he's going to be, and he can do that. Right wing is probably not where he wants to be. He likes to operate on the left side of the pitch or in the center. But I think he can still impact the game in a really positive way. Obviously, I'm just saying obvious things, but what I'm trying to say is, us being critical of Gio Reyna doesn't mean we don't believe in him. Obviously, but I feel like that's sort of the. Maybe I've been on USMNT Twitter for too long, but I feel like sometimes it seems like these players are untouchable. But Gio Reyna, I hope we see him be more of a team player against Panama. And I'm sure Greg will talk to him about that. So.
And by the way, I mean, it would have helped to put any number 9 out there, right?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Right, but at the same time, though, that is probably my number one concern, that maybe we won't have a number 9 that Reyna will feel like he does with Haaland or etc. Who you feel comfortable just playing cross it. And I'm not, that's a high bar, obviously.
Well, for him, it's not even crosses. It's just through balls.
Right. Right.
And I feel like I'm talking myself into Gyasi Zardes being our starting striker.
I mean, there's not many options. I mean, I think it's the U.S.'s weakest position now.
It probably is.
So that's where I think that's my number one concern for the national team right now. That position. I mean, Josie's fine, but he's getting older too. So.
I mean, you have Daryl DK in MLS has been doing really well. Io Akinola too, who did really well at the MLS's back tournament.
Aaron Johansson.
I mean, why not? Why I would have loved to see him. I think he probably would have scored today. Honestly, I think Gyasi Zardes probably would have scored today. But I mean, I'm interested to see what we have in Nicolas Gioacchini. He has been scoring consistently in Ligue 2. And I haven't watched any Ligue 2, so I don't know the level of competition or the quality of competition. But when he's on the pitch, he looks like a traditional center forward, right? But you can also tell he can move and he has some skill. So he's a really exciting player for me. Josh Sargent is still a person. He still exists.
That is true.
And I know he's at Werder Bremen, so he gets, played at right back or, whatever. But, we've seen we've seen players. I mean, I'm an Everton fan. For those of you who don't know, I mean, Sargent reminds me a lot of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, in that he's a very hard worker. I honestly think Josh Sargent is a more skilled player than Dominic Calvert-Lewin, which is crazy to say. But I think my point is Dominic Calvert-Lewin at Everton was never in a good position, right? He was never in a team that enabled him to be a good striker, and that's how it is for Josh Sargent at Werder Bremen. It's to the point where I don't even watch him play because it's so sad to see. He's on an island, or he's being played out of position.
You play 42 times.
Yeah, yes, I did. That was, I think that's why I don't do that anymore, because that literally destroyed my soul. Maybe that's what drove me into depression. I'll bring that up next time in therapy. But, you know, anyway, we have Josh Sargent, we have Joe Keeney. Timothy Weah, I think Greg sees as a winger. But he in the limited minutes he's had for Lille this year, he's played at striker. And Sebastian Soto has been scoring in the Eredivisie, which is the second division in the Netherlands. But as you say, we want to see these guys start to score at higher levels. And no one, literally no one is doing it right now, outside of MLS. So, and Ligue 2 and the second division in the Netherlands. So you are absolutely correct. That's the striker position is our weakest position. But to me, that doesn't mean play Sebastian Lletget at striker.
No. I agree with that. But I'm saying this might be something we circle back to in a different way later on. But
the false nine?
No. I mean, today we were concerned because we literally didn't have a striker. I'm saying just maybe down the road we'll be concerned because of our lack of good striker play.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I agree. And I'm interested to see if anyone else, I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't really want to see a false nine, but I think Gio Reyna with Christian Pulisic and Jordan Morris on the wing, I think that could work, honestly, because those are two really direct, pacey players who can get in behind. And, yeah, I mean,
it could.
I mean, that's literally the only false nine iteration of the US I would be interested in seeing at all. Because, I mean, Jordan Morris is a good player. So, I know that's like a meme, but he really is. All right, it's already been half an hour, so why don't we head into the midfield?
Yes.
And let's save the most exciting for last. Let's start with Tyler Adams at center defensive mid. How do you think he did there?
I thought he was really good. I feel like, if anyone is the quarterback of this team, I mean, not in the same way that Michael Bradley was a quarterback, because, he was just kind of played longer balls, and it felt like the ball went through him on every possession. I feel like Adams is very smart in that he positions himself in different ways, depending on the situation, and it's not always going through him. I think he makes the right runs and creates space for other players when he needs to. But I mean, I didn't think he did much wrong today. I thought he was pretty solid.
I agree, and I think I was excited to see him at center defensive mid. He's played there for Leipzig this year. He's played right back. He's played center back. So I mean, he's obviously a very versatile player. And actually, the manager for Leipzig said, we want Tyler Adams to sort of be the quarterback of our team, and that's when he was talking about him playing center back in a back three. Oh. But, and I don't know if that was just because he's American. But,
Probably.
But
German clubs love to market the fact that their players are American. I'm fine with it.
No, yeah, they do a good job. They do it effectively. But I don't think the manager is marketing the club.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because Weston McKennie, and I mean, maybe we can just talk about both, because I thought Weston McKennie was fantastic today as well. Weston McKennie always does Weston McKennie things in that he has some bad touches, some wayward passes, and sometimes you're just like, what are you doing? But today, he had a couple of those at the very beginning, and then I thought he really grew into the game.
I think he did show more technical flashes than I was expecting today. Or
Well,
like those 1-2s and
right, he looks confident, right? Like with his crossfield ball, he's the one who's making a lot of crossfield balls. He had a couple of really nice recoveries and tackles, and
yeah.
it's really interesting to me. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off but when you think of like a traditional ball winning number 6, like Weston McKennie fits that mold a little bit more than Tyler Adams, in my opinion. But Weston McKennie is such a powerful force going forward that you want him sort of being that box-to-box midfielder. But what I mean is McKennie is a lot more willing to get into challenges or into cover for people and make a sliding tackle. Whereas Tyler Adams is just so good at closing off and closing down space and forcing the opponent to pass it backwards or to pass it sideways. And the combination of having those two in the midfield is like nirvana. It's incredible. And they're so young. They're not even close to their peaks. So it's just so exciting. It's so exciting to see those two there.
I absolutely agree. McKennie, I've always loved McKennie, and I think you need a player that's going to just run his ass off for 90 minutes and just do everything he can, even if he's not the most, like, I think he is probably actually more skilled and technically gifted than people give him credit for.
Absolutely.
But he is just going to absolutely pour his heart out into the game, and he just is everywhere. And I think you're right. I mean, I think there's a perfect harmony there between Tyler Adams playing in that number 6 and him playing in that box-to-box role. And I mean, it could even, and if Musa is, I mean, I haven't actually watched much of Musa, so like, can you give me like a comp for like his overall play style? I watched him today, obviously, and he was very exciting going attacking and was able to link up with other players. But do you think he can? So you have that defensive presence, you have that box-to-box presence. Do you think that Musa is that perfect attacking-minded player to complete that trio?
He is not a number 10, if that's what you're asking. I would not consider him a number 10. I would consider him more of a box-to-box midfielder who's like technical and really good at linking up play. I haven't watched a lot of him either, but like a comp that comes to my mind is like Mateo Kovacic.
Okay.
But he's so I mean, yeah, I think that's a decent comp. I want to see more of Musa. I mean, we all sort of just found about him last week. But you know, at Valencia, he plays on the right. He is really willing to take on players one-on-one. And I think he could play number 10. I haven't personally seen enough of his creativity in the final third from the center of the park yet. I mean, maybe he could. I don't know. And I think he's also decent on as a defensive player too. So I think he's going to be really good with Reyna sort of interplaying. Or, you know, what I'm really excited about maybe is even him on the left side of midfield with Pulisic, where Pulisic comes inside and plays that like pseudo number 10 and Musa's out wide.
Right.
Or, yeah. So I think, to me, he's a box-to-box player that's more attacking minded, which I think really balances well with this midfield, right? Like, that's kind of what you want. And again, I mean, there's much more to learn about him. We don't even know if he's going to play for the United States, but did you see the picture of him pregame in the picture?
No, I didn't. What was he doing?
He was grinning from ear to ear. Like, it was so funny. He was like the only one smiling in that picture. And apparently coming off the pitch, he was ecstatic. And it seems like he has a good rapport with Weston McKennie and Tyler Adams and Sebastian Lletget. And honestly, something that I really do not want. I mean, I guess recently we've had a lot of it, but it's really cool to see African American representation in the, and I mean African American. So I'm talking about like Tyler Adams and Weston McKennie, players, black players who grew up in the U.S. and Zach Steffen too, because it really is not something we've seen too much of. I mean, we've seen DeMarcus Beasley and Eddie Johnson, and I mean, the reason why I'm saying that is because they also they unveiled these jackets that said "Be the Change," and Weston McKennie has been such an outspoken advocate for social justice and social change. So I think it's really cool to see that, and just see all of the different. It's something that's just wonderful about watching the U.S. men's national team is just seeing the influence from everywhere, and it's sort of a microcosm of this country. Okay, we'll get off that, but anyway. I don't even remember what I was talking about. But yes, so Yunus Musah, I'm not 100% convinced he's going to stay with the U.S., but I think this was encouraging. And honestly, this was the midfield I wanted to start this game. So I was really excited to see that until I saw Sebastian Lletget starting as striker. Then I was kind of like, what? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think if this is our midfield for the next 10, 15 years, I truly believe if everyone stays healthy, it can be one of the better midfields in the world. I mean, I don't even think that's a hot take either. Like every midfield can only have 3 or 4 players maximum. Like, so if you have 3 really high level players, I mean, Musah's 17 too. Gio Reyna's 17. So yeah. I mean, McKennie and Adams are just over 20. So Dest also is like 20, right? I don't even know. Like, it feels like before Young for the U.S. men's national team was like 24, and now we have like 17-year-olds playing at the highest level.
It is insane.
But what I was going to say about McKennie there's not a whole lot more to say about Musah right now. I thought he was excellent, especially in the second half. I mean, he's just sort of a dynamo, and
he doesn't play for Houston.
But he is in the center of the park, and you know, there was one passage of play in the second half where he was just shouldering off multiple players, stayed on his feet while he was getting fouled, and then played it out wide to Sergiño Dest. It was just beautiful to see. So his versatility and his technical ability, I think would be very, very helpful. And I think another really great thing about Weston McKennie is he's sort of an enforcer, right? Like, he's not going to take crap from anyone, and he's going to stick up for his teammates. He reminds me of Clint Dempsey a little bit in that way. So I think really valuable. Who was the captain today, by the way? I didn't even...
It was Zach Steffen.
It was Zach Steffen? Okay.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. To me, like, yeah, I think there's so many possible future captains.
I hope they don't give it to Pulisic, though.
No, I think it would be Adams or McKennie if it was anyone in the outfield. So I know Adams, one of his dreams was to captain the U.S. men's national team, so hopefully he's able to do that. I know Greg Berhalter, I don't think we've had anyone be captain for 2 games in a row under Greg Berhalter, so I don't know. I'm sure it would be Tim Ream if he's in the game, but any other thoughts on the midfield, though?
Yeah, no, like you said, I thought it was working really well. Nice balance. It'll be interesting to see. Hopefully we get the same 3 starting next game, but I don't know how Greg is going to approach that.
I think I would prefer that. All right, we talked a lot.
Tyler Adams, just a quick stat. I mean, he's not the only player to post this yet. It's very early in the season, but he is number 1 in the league in successful dribble percentage at 100%. So, I mean, obviously the way they classify dribble is different from like any dribble, but that's impressive.
How many dribbles has he had?
That I do not know.
Okay.
He's played. So
yes, no, he has. He has played. And we sort of already, I think we covered the front 3. Conrad De La Fuente, Sebastian Lletget, and Gio Reyna. So, I mean, we can talk about the substitutes briefly.
We didn't really talk about the center backs, did we?
I guess we didn't. That's right. Or Zach Steffen, but there's not a whole lot to say with Zach Steffen. Center backs, you're right.
I thought today I had such a deep appreciation for John Brooks.
Dude, I've been saying, haven't I not been saying, like, I think he is so underrated. So, not even at the U.S. level, but at the global level. Like, I think he's such a good center back. He's like...
Yeah, no, he's
like the prototypical center back, right, that you want. He's not fast, but he's not slow either.
Yeah, I think he's like decently fast. Yeah, he's not super fast, but definitely he's able to keep up with.
Right. He's not as fast as he used to be when he was like bombing down the field against like the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Or like recovering on a 1-on-3 against, what was that, Paraguay in the Copa America.
Right.
But he's good, and he can, as you alluded to earlier, he can distribute the ball. I think.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought today Brooks, like, every single touch felt so confident from him, and no touch was wasted. Like, I feel like sometimes in the back line, there can just be some kind of passing around, but every time Brooks gets the ball, he knows exactly where the attackers are, how much pressure they're putting on him, and he was constantly looking for Anthony Robinson to pass it to, or any of the midfielders. He could find them all, like, and he played some great switches, too. I think there was a long ball to either Reyna or Serginho Dest. So, I mean, defensively, obviously, he was super solid. He had a couple fouls aerially, but he also won some aerial duels. He was fantastic to me. He's played every minute so far, which, a lot of center backs do early in the season for top clubs. But, just since Brooks does have an injury history, we'll keep an eye on that. But it's good to see him healthy this year and playing at the peak of his powers.
Agreed. He was awesome. And, Matt Miazga was pretty good, too. I was pleasantly surprised by him. He's playing for Anderlecht now, I believe, on loan from Chelsea. Yes. And, yeah, he was good. He had one or maybe 1.5 scary moments. But, yeah, he was good. I think we all want to see Chris Richards against Panama. And I think having someone like Chris Richards, who's a bit of a more mobile player, next to John Brooks will probably be best going forward. But it's encouraging to see that Matt Miazga is still a solid player. Because
I think I would evaluate his performance a little differently. I mean, I don't think he was terrible by any means, and clearly, like, if we only gave up one shot on target, I mean, nothing that bad could have happened. But he just felt a little less comfortable than I thought than Brooks, and sometimes it felt like we were playing around him, like, if that makes sense. Just like in the back line, we were just kind of always trying to get it to a different defender to play. Like, he didn't feel, I don't think, comfortable playing it out of the back, and yeah. But I mean, he was solid. I mean, he was fine, I should say.
Yeah. Well, and and I think having someone on the right like Chris Richards, who has even played right back for Bayern Munich, to be able to cover the space that Serginho Dest is inevitably going to leave, I think is really important. So, I think Chris Richards will probably, well, let's see what Chris Richards does. Let's not anoint him the next I can't even think Maldini. But I think he has such a high ceiling. So, and again, Zach Steffen, he had one, I think, really bad pass to Tyler Adams that could have led to a goal. But he was solid. I mean, he did what he had to do. So
yeah, his distribution for the most part was pretty good, actually.
I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, and hopefully he learns more of that at Manchester City. All right, let's quickly talk about the substitution. So, interestingly, Greg Berhalter didn't make a substitution until the 71st minute, which is pretty rare in a friendly. And something I actually kind of appreciate. I would have appreciated it if Sebastian Lletget wasn't still on the pitch. I would have wanted to get a striker in at halftime, but I think having that midfield build some continuity, with Gio Reyna and with the defense and with Serginho Dest, I think is probably important. So
I agree.
I didn't have too much of a problem with that. But in the 71st minute, Johnny Cardoso came on for Tyler Adams to play in the number 6 role, and Ulises Yanez came on for Conrad De La Fuente. And as I alluded to earlier, Ulises Yanez came on and almost immediately got a shot off. He didn't do a whole lot after that. And I think he definitely has to improve and grow, and part of that is playing for Heron Van right now, where he is on loan from Wolfsburg. So, I think Uli's can be a really good player. So, I thought he did okay. I thought he did pretty okay. And then, what'd you think of Johnny Cardoso? I was encouraged by what I saw from him. I mean, I guess you didn't really watch the second half, right? I don't know if we revealed that, but did you get a chance to see Johnny Cardoso play a little bit?
I did. I thought
Okay.
looked pretty comfortable. I mean, obviously, it's hard to step into Tyler Adams' shoes, but I mean, yeah, I didn't think we lost much of a beat in the midfield.
I'm starting to realize how much you value how comfortable a player appears to be on the pitch.
Yeah,
I mean, I agree.
it feels like that is a big part of the sport.
It is, and I think he can be that that traditional number 6 that can win the ball and play the ball forward. Tyler Adams, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Tyler Adams, he doesn't fit that mold necessarily just because he's so versatile. I think in my mind, I envision traditional number 6 as limited players, in that they can't really play any other position. That's not necessarily true.
Which is not really the way the game's going now too. It's changing, but
I mean, you have players like Sergio Busquets, and others. But yeah, no, I thought he looked good, and he had a professional foul. His passing looked good. He's a young player. He's playing in Brazil, so he's exciting. Did you have any thoughts on Uli?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I thought that shot was very exciting. Really good turn to. Actually, it was a turn then shot, right? It was
yeah.
One time. Okay, yeah.
It was a great turn.
Yeah. It that was probably one of the most exciting moments of the match, actually, and that was right after he came on, right? So
right.
Other than that, though, I mean, I didn't think he made too much of an impact. Again, I mean, this is sometimes just friendlies when all the subs are coming in in a span of 20 minutes. It sometimes gets hard to actually evaluate anything that's going on. So
right, agreed.
But he's got promise for sure.
He does, yeah. And I feel wingers, especially when they come out at the end of the games, it's so hard to evaluate. Speaking of which, in the 79th minute, Timothy Weah came on for Gio Reyna. Or Timothy, did I say Timothy? I said Weah, right? Timothy Weah came on for Gio Reyna on the right side, right wing. Excuse me. And Nicolas Joachini came on for Yunus Musa. Sebastian Lletget dropped back in the midfield, and Joachini played at striker. As I alluded to, I mean, there wasn't much time. Timothy Weah didn't do a whole lot. Joachini didn't really get many touches. I don't really think we learned anything from them. The game sort of fizzled out at that point.
Yeah, both those players came on in the 79th minute. They only played for 10 minutes. I didn't see much. Yeah.
And there's no stoppage time, so... and then in the 87th minute, Reggie Cannon, who did actually get a couple touches, came on for Serginho Dest. Reggie Cannon looked brilliant as usual. And Owen Otasowie, the center defensive midfielder / center back, came on, making his debut. The Wolverhampton player, actually, the Wolves player. So, I'm sure Daryl would have been ecstatic that he was on the pitch. But yeah, I thought he actually looked pretty good too. He had a couple of really good touches. He got forward once, which definitely broke my preconceived notions of him and everything I had heard. I thought he was, again, just a very defensive midfielder. So yeah, I mean, they both looked. There was not a whole lot to learn in that regard. So I don't know. The players who didn't play, Ethan Horvath and the goalkeeper, and Chitaru Odunze, the young goalkeeper for Leicester City, didn't play. Tim Ream didn't play. Chris Richards also did not play. And then Richie Ledesma and Sebastian Soto did not get on the pitch. So I'm interested to see if any of those guys make it on next time. I
would like to see a Chris Richards start. That probably will not happen, just to get more chemistry with the center back pairing. But
yeah, well, Aaron Long's been awful this year, so I think he's sort of fallen out of favor. So it's really Miazga's position to lose right now, and hopefully he loses it to Chris Richards. And then I would like to see either Sebastian Soto or Joachini play up top next time. That would be my ideal situation.
I agree with that.
Any other final?
Really, anyone who can actually play striker would be an upgrade. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Lechet's fault. Yeah, I think. I mean, you said earlier like you didn't notice that much tactically. I think actually something that I heard Stu Holden say and that I heard Greg Berhalter mention a couple times leading up to this game is that they were trying to oversimplify things. A lot of these new players are in new club environments. I mean, they're like the obvious wrinkles, like giving space for Dest to become more attacking and things like that. But other than, I mean, yeah, it was a game to try and get the players comfortable, try and get some chemistry. Lots of players making their debut, and yeah, I think it's like there was sloppiness. There was times where it felt like there was a bunch of nice sparks, a bunch of nice first touches, and then someone just kind of screwed up, maybe because of the conditions or just because of nerves or whatever it may be. But I mean, at the end of the day, like I didn't really care about the result. It was just nice to see, well, first of all, this team play again and some of these players get on the pitch for the first time and for the first time in a while.
Yeah, I wish we did get a goal, but you know what? Such is life. At least we didn't concede. Anyway, the U.S. does play next on Monday against Panama in Austria, I believe. And that is at 2:45 p.m. Eastern Time. And I believe that is on ESPN, but don't quote me on that.
And the time this time was actually quite refreshing for U.S. soccer. Like it was like it said 2:45 and it was like a 2:50 kickoff. So I was pleasantly surprised with that.
The lineup dropped at 1:19. I was so confused because usually that happens like an hour, like
right.
Exactly an hour beforehand, and I was like, what is going on here? But
the wrong lineup, granted, but at least we got a lineup.
That's actually true. That's very true. Anyway, that's it from me. Anything else you want to say?
No. Yeah, you guys can probably catch us on Monday. We haven't really talked about a schedule going forward, but I would definitely like to keep a close eye on the USMNT, like even during the club games, and maybe we can both make sure to watch different games or maybe the same games.
Yeah, maybe that's what we should just do. We should just become a U.S. soccer podcast. Maybe.
Well, yeah.
I mean, we kind of already are, but.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if there's like, I feel like if there's like big Champions League games or like the World Cup's happening, like I'm definitely willing to.
Well,
like that in those cases.
Yeah, I'm also willing to watch the World Cup.
But yeah, I think for now, just that might be a nice way to get on a schedule, and because yeah, this team's super exciting and it'll be fun to watch these players in Europe every week.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, since the last time we recorded and since we started, there's so many soccer podcasts now. So we really appreciate, if any of you have gotten this far, we really appreciate you. Please make sure you do follow us on Twitter at SoccerBrothersPod. We're also on Facebook, facebook.com/SoccerBrothersPodcast. I remember it, Sahil. I'm not even looking at it.
You can email us at soccerbrotherspodcast@gmail.com.
Yes, you can. I got to open up that email and see if there's anything there, honestly. But yeah, email us questions, thoughts about the game, whatever. We'll work on getting the website back up. Maybe that's not a promise, but we'll see how that goes. And yeah, I'm just excited to be back, man. I'm excited to be back and talking to you about soccer.
Me too. There's a lot of. I don't even think we've mentioned the pandemic in this entire episode.
I mean, you said something. You said something like a lot has happened.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that does imply that. But yeah, no, it is good. I mean, obviously, so much uncertainty. I think it's gonna get a little worse in the next few months. We're gonna be inside a lot, so let's just watch some soccer and.
Yeah, I'll be COVID testing a lot, so I that's what I was doing today.
Congratulations, by the way. On the new job.
Oh, well, thank you. Yes, I'm in Chicago now, for those of you who don't know. And, well, yeah, I was COVID testing during the game today, which is why I missed a lot of the first half, because we had 70 people come in like half an hour. But, yes, I don't even know. How do we end these podcasts usually?
I don't know, but I think that they're probably hearing music by this point, right?
Yeah, well, probably.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. See you later.
Soccer, soccer, soccer.
Okay.